Hello friends, welcome back. If you want to understand how data flows in software from user to database via web server and from database back to user via web server with examples, then you are watching the right video. In this video, we learn what is data, how data flows across front-end and back-end, how data is stored in database, real-time example with MySQL database. This video is very useful for non-technical professionals like business analysts, product owners, designers, and for beginners in technical professionals like who wants to start their career in coding. Let's get started. What is data? In simple words, data is defined as information that is stored in or used by a computer. Data can be words, data can be numbers, it can be symbols, it can be photos, it can be even videos. As we all use different kind of softwares in our laptop, mobiles or tabs to get our work done. It may be ordering food online, booking an appointment for doctor, using online banking and many more. Now let us understand what actually happens in backend when we use different softwares. As you can see, user is a part of frontend and web server and database is a part of backend. Frontend is what we see on the computer. Web server is a place where all the coding files are placed and business logic is executed. And database is a place where data is stored. There could be many coding languages like PHP, C++, Python, Java, SQL. And also there can be many databases like MSQL, MongoDB, Oracle and more. Here, user sends a request to web server. Based on the request, the web server will communicate with database using the coding language and gets the response back to user. Now let's take an example. User will provide username and password to log into online banking software. Here, username is John and John1 is the password, which is the data given by the user to log in. This request along with provided data is passed to web server. Here in the web server, by the help of coding languages, it checks if the username and password is available in the database. If yes, then the web server will allow the user to successfully log into the online banking software. Now let's see how data is stored in the database. Data is stored in the form of tables in the database. Let's assume that you're using a software to track your personal expenses. Now, as you can see, you are filling and submitting your food expenses form in your device. It may be laptop, mobile or tab. Now, this is the structure of table in the database. Here, expense ID, expense type, amount spent, payment type, all are called as field names, which is fixed and created. And information in each cell is called data or value provided by the user. In this example, when the user submits the form, the data provided by the user, is added in the table in the single row. As you can see, food, expense type is food, amount spent is $100, the payment type is credit card. This is the data provided by the user and the data is added as a single row in the table in the expenses table. Now, I will show this in real-time scenario where how user adds the expenses and how the data stores in the real database. The database I am going to use now is called MySQL database. So this is the PHP MyAdmin application where you can manage MySQL databases. Now let's open expenditure database. Under expenditure database, there is one table called expenses. And this expense ID, expense type, amount spent, payment type are all called field names. Now let us see what happens when the user in the real time fills the expenditure form. Now this is the form. So let's say expense type would be food and spent amount would be $100 and the payment type would be credit card. When it clicks on submit, now the record will be added. When we check in the database, when you refresh it, you will see that record added in the database in a single row. So expense ID is auto incremented, which will be 1. Expense type is food, what the user is given. Amount spent is $100 and payment type is credit card. Thank you very much, friends. Please like and subscribe to my video.